Hello everybody and welcome back to Nathan Adams Cars. Today we're going to check out my new car. It is a 1.4 turbo. First time I've had a car with a turbo. It is my daily driver, my only car. And it just happens to be so much fun. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, as you can see, not only is it a 1.4 turbo, first turbo vehicle I've ever had, it's also a manual, first manual vehicle I've ever had. Happens to be a 5-speed. And I want to talk to you about some of the things that I like most about this vehicle. Number one is the price, because this vehicle was accessible to me. It was practical with the price, and it has a lot of nice features. So it's not just the price, but also I'm showing you, like, the blind spot sensors are there. They flash if there's somebody in your blind spot and you put your turn signal on, they'll flash at you. This is the touchscreen, which has Apple CarPlay and a lot of other nice features. It even has some heated seats. Some of the seats are heated. 2 out of 5. What is that? 40% of the seats? That's not a bad number. Has a transmission. It's always nice to have those. Has a lot of nice features. And it was about $14,000. There was a $1,000 incentive from Volkswagen for the certified. Oh yeah, it's also certified. So it has an extended warranty and all that type of stuff. Very good value in my opinion, especially because of the way that it drives. We're going to check out the drive today, because it has these features, right? But there's so much more to a vehicle than just the features. Okay, here we are outside of it now, and as you're going to see on the back, it is the SE trim, TSI. This color is really nice. It's like a white, like a metallic silver white, which is cool. The taillights are not LEDs, and neither are the headlights, but there are LED daytime running lights in the front, I'll show you. And there's some LEDs back here as well, which look nice at nighttime when they're on, just to have like a little bit of a nice look. One thing I don't like about the looks of this car, the SE trim in particular, is the 16-inch wheels. They kind of like dumb it down, you know? Like, the car drives nicely and the tires have more flex, which is nice. But 17s would just bring it all together, and it's like they did that on purpose, so you have to go up with trim, you know? I'm going to show you the daytime running lights here, and some other lights as well. Okay, this is what I was talking about with the LED light. Just that little touch, it kind of makes a difference at nighttime, you know? But it would be nice to have complete LED lights around it. They have just a sharper look, and that's nice. But it's not a big deal. But even the design of this car is very nice for the price, like the quality overall. Because you can see this sharp line that ends on the trunk follows all the way through, and it kind of converges with the tail light. So everything is connected, and then the line goes down the length of the body all the way, and then it goes full circle when it converges back again with the headlights up front. So you can see those daytime running lights now. They're very nice. They're not flickering in real life like that, obviously, but them being contrasted with a halogen headlight is somewhat unfortunate, because I like to keep my lights off just so I can see the clarity of these daytime running lights alone, without them being obscured by, well, not obscured, but they just don't look as good when you have those yellow halogen lights. And I would like to get some LED bulbs put in, but I don't want to blind everybody else because the assemblies aren't really made for that. So it's kind of unfortunate that there's not so much aftermarket support. The options anyway, there's like one option that I found, but I don't want to change the look. I want to keep it pretty OEM. So we'll see what happens there. But for now, it gets the job done. This car looks nice. It has nice features, as I mentioned. It has a sunroof even. And there's just a quality to everything. I mean, it's not the top quality, obviously, but even the laser seam welding down the side, just the quality is nice. The way it drives is nice. It does feel a little light, like not as sturdy as some other cars I've driven, some other German cars. And what else? There are some complaints about the engine noise and the engine feeling around the mid-range, or like, you know, 2,000 RPM or so. I said earlier, I think that it kind of revs high. You have to rev it high to get power, but you don't really. The turbos do kind of kick in around 2,000 or 2,500 RPM. So I just had to get used to the shift pattern basically, and kind of learn like how to engage the right part of the RPM range to really get the most out of it. And I'm learning. I'm really getting to know this car, you know? There's so much more feeling having a manual, and it's so fun to do that. So if you are interested in a good value, in a car that is fun to drive and practical, I think this is a good choice. I'm very happy myself. I mean, this is a small car, you know? But it's not too small. It's a little bit narrow inside, so if you're in the front, I can show you the armrest, which is adjustable. This armrest here slides forward, and I have it up. It has a ratchet type of system so that you can adjust it up and down. I have it up at the highest level, and I have it pulled forward at the highest level, so my elbow can rest at the end of it and stay on the shifter. There's a lot of junk in the seat there, but one of the cool things about Volkswagens in general, especially the MQB platform, I actually don't know about the others, but like the Golf and the Jetta and the Audi A3 and all that stuff, the seats go back pretty far. So the legroom is actually really nice up front. But yeah, this is the interior. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is do a drive. And I'm gonna show you guys with a GoPro mounted from the sunroof with a suction cup mount. It's gonna be looking down, and it's gonna give you a full view of the drive. So let's go check out how this car drives. What I love about this car when driving it on windy roads, or even just going around a turn to get on the highway or in the city, when you hit the gas going around a turn, it helps the entire vehicle rotates, you know? It doesn't feel like nose heavy, it doesn't feel understeer. There is no feeling except rotation in the direction you want to go. And it's not oversteer like I feel the tail coming out. The rotation, the axis of rotation seems to be perfectly in the middle of the car, which is super satisfying, that feeling. Because that means that the balance of rotation between the front and the rear is equal. I don't know about the weight split and all of that, I'm just saying my sensation, you know? So it's just very satisfying to drive on windy roads. Now, I'm not sure if you're hearing a lot of wind noise. The interior isn't the most supreme and quiet and comfortable place, but the quality of the vehicle overall is much better. I was coming from a Hyundai Tucson, so if you're somebody who's driving a Civic or an Elantra or something like that, this is a superior alternative to that when it comes to driving feel. So if you care about driving feel, then you're gonna want this. That's pretty much it. Now, what are some reasons you would not want this? I think that if you don't care about driving feel, you might not want this because it's more complicated as far as the engineering goes, and you know that means parts are likely more expensive and things like that. So you might save money on this car only because, well, you won't save money overall, I'd say, because you could probably get an Elantra for cheaper. Although the Civic is pretty expensive, and I love Hondas and the way that they steer and all of that, and like the engine and the VTEC and all that stuff, I like it, right? But it just doesn't have the cohesive performance feel that this does. So I still think this is a better value just overall, but you know, there's probably more practical options out there. I don't know. I love driving, that's all I can say. I really like this flat bottom steering wheel as well. It's a nice touch. The steering wheel is thick and it has like a leather feel. I don't know if it's real leather or not. The seats are not real leather. But the most important parts that you're interacting with and the drive itself are what make this car worth it, you know? Like worth more than getting a similarly priced, more practical, easier to repair car. It's worth it to go for this one over those because the drive is just better, you know? The confidence that this car gives you to go fast is the tendency for it to rotate around the turns. And I don't want to say that it has the tendency for oversteer because, like I said, it doesn't feel like the tail end is coming out. I'm not steering over so that the car is rotating more. It's more of a following, you know? Like it follows. Yeah, I don't know if that's really oversteer. It's just turn in, I guess, right? So the turn in is just forgiving because you can always have more turn in than you think. Whew. Oh, wow. There's no words. There's no words at a time like that. This is Joplin Road. Those are words. It's a fun road for a Sunday morning. I've been on this road before where there's so many people on the road that it's just very disappointing, because I'm having a lot of fun by myself right now. Whew. Wow. Yeah, maybe these hills are a little much. It's been a while since I've been on this road without cars in front of me, so yeah. There is a third dimension. Roads are not only two-dimensional. I think Elon Musk has something there with the whole Boring Company. I'm going to be flying into the third dimension right now over these hills, and you know, it's not good when you have no traction going around a turn at 50 miles an hour in the woods, because, you know, this car is not made for flying, and if it flies into a tree, that'll be the last time it flies. Now that's a great example of what I mean. Now I was in second gear there, which is pretty low, but the sign said 15 miles an hour safety speed. So I went down all the way to second gear, and I had a lot of torque to pull myself out of that turn. And even with the weight transfer into the outside of the turn when I was coming out of it, but I'm trying to describe that feeling. It was pretty nice. that concludes the drive through Joplin Road. It was very fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I certainly did. Now what I'm going to do is drive back towards my home and listen to music on the way and just enjoy the drive with the 2017 Jetta SE. And I hope you enjoyed the video. There will be more of this car and more videos about this car to come, so keep an eye out for that. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.